Hello and welcome to the Everyone Hates Car Salesman podcast. And you're hearing a new voice. My name is Ina Coveney. Sean is right here with me. I have not held him hostage. He's still right here. Sean, say hello so everybody knows I'm not alone here.
I'm not a hostage. I'm here
Okay,
willing.
Sean, you have to explain to everybody like what is it that this chick is doing here now.
All right. So Ina Coveney is my partner in one of my business ventures in Goat for Real Media. She is by far the brains of the operation. I'm just a pretty face. And so Ina is jumping on board with a lot of stuff that I do and helping me out in a part on a partner level at Goat for Real Media. She helps me with my car console, the social media training. Now I have managed to somehow push off the podcast responsibility to her, and she's going to be amazing at it because she's done that for 12 years. She's a professional. I'd be stupid not to push it on her.
Okay, so let's be clear. You've just managed to sweet talk me into doing a lot of things.
That's what I meant to say in closing. Yes, in summary.
That's
Yeah.
what's happening. So,
Yeah.
if you would like to hear the story of how we met and all that stuff, it's in a previous podcast where he interviewed me. That we ended up talking for so long that it ended up being like a three-part podcast,
Yeah.
right? So you
Yeah.
can get the full story over there. But yeah, anyway, so I am gonna be here, a fixture of the podcast from now on, just to keep the conversations going, to kind of bring the kind of content that people in the automotive industry want to hear, but also to kind of just talk about what life in this automotive industry is like.
Yep.
I am pretty new to this industry. I still have a lot of questions. There's still a lot of things that I don't understand. And I love talking to Sean every time. So that's kind of what we're doing over here.
I'm super excited that you're taking control of this podcast because, truthfully, I think that we have a great message to deliver, and you know how to get that out correctly. I know how to make funny videos.
Yeah, and that I think it's just a great combination. So
It's
what I
symbiotic. It works. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for the past 7 years, I have been in the online world, right? Just
Yep.
teaching other people how to get clients, how to bring in customers, even if they have a small audience. So like now we kind of join forces so that you can teach people how to create amazing content and really grow their audiences while I'm here like wait, but you also need to know how to turn that audience into customers. So it's like having like the best of both worlds. That's what's happening here.
Yeah, I don't think there's another pair of people out there that have my experience and know-how and past record of success on that platform combined with someone that's had the same type of success and experience on the monetization side. So I feel like we are a deadly combo.
So I feel like if anybody's listening to this on the podcast or if you're watching this on YouTube, like leave us a comment, like contact us on social media. We have all of our links here and tell us if like what are the things that you would like to see? What are the things that you would like to hear about? We are probably going to be like just shooting the breeze with a lot of people that we like and introducing you to a lot of people that we just want you to know about and tell you about all the antics that we have. So we've only known each other for how long?
3 months. Our
3 months.
our friendship anniversary is tomorrow. 3 months.
From the first day that you sent me a text message was tomorrow. Isn't that
Correct.
crazy?
That is
Right?
crazy.
And
Yes.
now I've taken over
Yeah.
and now
Yeah. Now you're my boss. Yeah, basically.
now you really sweet talk me into doing a lot of these things. So that's what's gonna happen in this podcast. So we've already been to trainings together. We just got out of doing a training in the Montrose group in Ohio, which was super fun. You wanna tell everybody the big huge thing that happened as soon as we walked out?
Amazing. A young guy named Nick on the lot on socials, posted his first video after our training. And last time I looked, he was at 4.4 million views.
That is insane. I remember
Insane.
right after, by the way, that is when I came from the coaching world, it was really hard to take a lot of credit for the things that my clients did. Because as a coach, you're kind of guiding people and
Right.
they really, their success is their own. But for this one, I have to say out loud
Yeah.
that Sean was there advising Nick through the entire process. He's telling her, like, this is where you put the camera, this is how you're gonna do it, this is how
Yeah.
you're gonna splice it together. Like, this was like architected with Nick and his concept, and
It was awesome.
we did that with all of the other sales reps that were in the training. And there was another one that went to over 50,000 views, right? And this was somebody, Mikey, who didn't think that he really had it in him to continue to be a creator.
Right.
Turns out he has amazing ideas, and he found that oomph, that inspiration to continue to do it, and now he just blew up again, right? So that's the kind of thing that Sean and I go and do at dealerships. Anything you want to add about that? Like, this is like our baby, is going to dealerships and teaching people how to create great content.
No, just that, for me, I feel blessed that I'm able to just use my experience in social and in the automotive industry to better other people's lives and careers is means everything to me. So I feel blessed. I love doing it. Love it.
And I can attest, from having basically talked to you every day for the past 3 months, I can attest that that is a really, really genuine desire of yours. Like,
For sure. Yeah.
that is something that I have seen you, I really, really want to do, and really put like all of your energy into doing. So
Yeah.
so for everybody out there who like thinks that Sean is like this like tough guy, I'm gonna be here like telling people like what a nice guy you actually are. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that's
And
gonna be like my role, is to keep reminding you. And he's getting red, by the way, for anybody who's listening.
can we yeah.
He's like getting red. He's
Yeah.
getting red. So
We're done. We're done.
anyway, in today's episode, we have our friend Robin Wilson.
I love
Uh,
Robin.
she is amazing. So I just wanted to kind of create a little bit of like what are you expecting out of this conversation? Robin owns multiple companies in the automotive industry to help with social media, to help with bringing people through the door. So we talk about how Robin and Sean met. We talk a little bit about their relationship, because I love you two together.
It's
Like,
unique. It's unique.
I need to see more of the two of you together.
Yeah.
And you're also going to be hearing about, I don't think we called this out because we were so used to, we just got right into our conversation. We didn't really call out that we started talking about our personal accounts on this conversation,
Right.
right? Like,
Right.
we like stopped talking about work, and we
I
just
know.
started talking about like these silly TikTok
Right.
accounts that we have.
Right.
Is that something you've ever shared here in this podcast, that you have a like a
No.
play account?
No, I keep that all to myself. I like people to think I'm that mean business person. You know what I mean? So no, I have not shared that, but it feels like you're about to share it. So
I'm not going to. I'm gonna
go
continue to
ahead.
keep it. Okay. Do you want me to?
I
Yes
don't
or
care.
no?
I don't care. I'm gonna show up in their algorithm anyways. So if they're on my other.
Some people have found it, right? Some people are
Oh
like
yeah.
leaving your comments. They're like, wait a minute, like
Why they're
I
like,
know
aren't
you.
you the car guy that knows the car business inside and out? Like, and you're always giving people advice, and now I found you over here doing this. Like, hold on a second. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna tell anybody. Like, I'm sure this will come up. I'm not gonna tell anybody what is it that you do on that account, but I'm gonna give them the handle so
Do
they
it.
can go and see
Do
what
it.
is it that you do. Okay.
I'm in. Go
So
ahead.
here is revealing Sean's personal account on TikTok is Gen X for Generation X, Gen X for Real 216, right?
That's
Super close to his work account, Good for Real 216, Gen X for Real 216. Go and check it out. And if he's still red. Why are you still
I
getting red?
don't stop talking about me.
So red. So everybody needs to go and check out that account and leave him a comment. Tell him that you came to the account because you heard it on the
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
Tell him that you found him.
Yeah.
Okay. So so we started talking about our personal accounts because Robin and I were inspired by the GOAT's personal account to start to grow our own. So we get into a little bit of that. So
Yeah.
so I wanted to kind of say that out loud. And so stay tuned. Make sure that you subscribe everywhere you are subscribing, because on the next episode, we're going to be talking to Robin's daughter, Shasta.
And I can't wait for that. Yeah.
Shasta is basically like running that business. Like Robin speaks so highly of her. She's also on the board of Women in Automotive. So stay tuned, because that's going to be our next conversation. All right. So I feel like I've told everybody what they need to know, what they're going to be expecting, and yeah, they're going to be hearing my lovely accent. from
Yes.
this point
And
forward.
before we go, when we are done doing my personal account, go to Zennial Ina, which is Ina's personal account that I think you'll also find interesting. That's Zennial, XENNILINA, Zennial Ina. Leave her a comment.
Oh man, so Sean has been helping me with it, and apparently I'm not listening very well. So that's it's gonna be a yeah. Anyway, yeah, go check it out. Daniel, Ina. We'll see if people like it or not. But that's what
Yeah.
we're doing. So anyway, so let's roll into our conversation with Robin. And before I go, everybody needs to know that Sean put out a new ebook to
Yeah.
talk about how to dominate car sales on social media. Can you tell
Yeah.
everybody just a tiny bit about the ebook?
Yeah, I just wanted to put something out there for people to just download and implement into their daily duties that roll social media into it and make it easy and simple, ground level, sort of very, early educational, you know what I mean? But I've had great feedback on it already. I've had people who have read the ebook and gotten promoted and went viral and all this other stuff. So it's available, the ebook, for anybody that wants to download it. I'm getting great feedback on it. So again, I'm blessed to be able to share my experience with you guys.
And you can go download it completely for free at goatforreal216.com/ebook. And we're going to be putting the links below. So go and find it. So Sean, are we ready to start conversation with Robin?
Let's do a podcast.
Let's go.
All right. I'd like to take a minute to thank our sponsor, Sky Blue Credit Repair. Sky Blue is the oldest credit repair company in the country. They have 4.5-star reviews, and my favorite part about the company is that these are just genuinely good people who want to help you repair your credit, have a better financial life in future. Everybody at Sky Blue that you talk to is absolutely interested in helping you repair your credit, see your score go up, and have you enjoy financial freedom and be able to live the life that you really deserve. I know about all of the other credit repair companies. Sky Blue Credit Repair, in my opinion, is the #1 credit repair company in the country. There are not better people in that industry than the people over at Sky Blue Credit. Links in the bio. Tell them the GOAT sent you.
Hey, everybody. So we are here with Robin Wilson.
Surprise.
And of course, Sean the Goat is here too.
Is he?
Hi, Sean. Hi, Sean.
Hey.
Okay. How's it going? Robin. So Robin, Sean, and I have traveled together. We have slept in the same room. We've been roomies. Like
Yeah.
this is a thing. This is a great group right here. So Robin, why don't you tell everybody what is it that you do right now, and what is it that you do for the automotive industry right now?
Yeah. So I am actually the CEO and founder of 3 different businesses. I started SCP Agency, which was organic social. We started for small businesses and then moved into automotive in 2014. And then 2019, by accident, started an outsourced BDC, which we call Epic BDC, which took off and exploded after COVID. And then just this past year, we launched a new app called Social Grenade, where we help automotive salespeople actually post organic social to their profile pages to increase their visibility and to drive more warm first-party leads. So I'm, really just kind of neck deep. I started to pick a different word, but neck deep in the in the automotive.
Can you use any words you want? Is this that kind of podcast?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can fill in the blanks for her if you
Well,
want.
yeah, I'm balls deep in automotive and in social, so there's that.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna say elbows, but
I was going through the body parts. I just worked my way up and went neck. Okay, whatever.
Neck. Yeah, neck of all things. Neck. You passed up like 4 parts, but
I
okay.
know, but they went through my brain. They just didn't come out my mouth.
Got it. That's what she said.
Yeah.
see,
So
I'm like the innocent of the group. The only thing I could think of was elbows. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
you're
that's
in
what
a
she went. That's what
you're
she
in a
went.
rough crowd. You're in a rough crowd here. You're in a rough crowd.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. I'm seeing that.
yeah, that's the body part I meant to mention. That's one.
So sorry, you're balls deep into what?
Automotive and social media. That's it. And outsourced BDC. So those are the things. If you need those things, you need me.
And you have been going around doing trainings, and we know because we've done these with you. So tell us a little bit more about those trainings.
Yeah, so and my side of training is generally always in the Facebook realm. It's literally how to make Facebook sing and dance for you and do the things you want it to do. And it's an ongoing pivot. Not like I think some solid, stable platforms like TikTok, like you guys play on all the time, don't really change the rules a lot, and freaking Facebook does. And so um, I think that if you're going to be a master of Facebook, it's tough to be a master of all of them. And so I just really dive deep and make sure I know what's working in Facebook. Like we saw the rollout, we knew it was coming, like Instagram, right? Don't even bother using a hashtag anymore. They're irrelevant. They're not going to help in search. They're just there if you want them to be a little conversation piece. And that comes from the head of Instagram. So all of the little tweaks and things that happen like that, you just literally have to keep your finger on the pulse, and we do. And so many times things change. I mean, we spend so much time recovering assets for dealers because, like a couple of years ago, Facebook moved. If you had a business page and you didn't have a business manager, they would move. They just created one for you and moved your business in there. And then you had to figure out how to get into it. And people like, we don't know how to access that. And it was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
So, spend a lot of time recovering assets as well for people.
Okay, so I'm going to say this out loud, but you are a boomer, right?
I am.
You being like all into social media and tech savvy is a little bit like out of character. So yes, I went there. So I want to know how did you get into this and how did you become so good at it?
It really is just you have to decide to learn it, right? Because I didn't even get my first computer, like my home computer. I didn't get my first computer until I was probably 34.
Whoa.
When a PC showed up at my house, and I had AOL and I had mail. And so
Right.
that was my first, experience. However, all you little turds, I was a first adopter of cell phones. So there's that. I had the brick phone.
Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice.
So it's just one of those things where it's like, and I'll tell you, this is kind of, and I don't want to bring the whole tempo down, but MySpace was out, right? So when MySpace was out, and I knew of it because like the kids were on it, and Facebook really wasn't even a thing yet. I think when MySpace was out, we're talking about like 2007. Um, Facebook was like just in the colleges at that time, right? And so um, I had a son that died in a motorcycle accident in 2007,
Mm.
and all of his friends were on MySpace. And so I created a tribute page for him on
Mm.
MySpace. And that's kind of how I learned how to play within a format and go, if this reaches them, if this is the way that I can create something for them, then I will. And I loaded photos in there and music in there and all of the things, and then shared it out. And so that was probably my first foray into any social media, was in 2007. And so then from then, like what applications I used for it, I probably didn't jump on board with actual Facebook probably till probably 2009 or 10, right around in there. And then um, we started using it at our church for the youth group because it was like where the youth were at, and if we could communicate with them and let them know what was going on, then we did. And so then after the mortgage meltdown and the economy crashed, I was like, how can I help small business owners to actually get back out there going? They're turning our economy around. How do I help them? Because they can't afford to compete with the big guys. And social media was the answer for that. So then I was like, if I'm going to help them, I have to learn about these platforms. And so I just started learning so that I could help them.
Yeah. And how did you guys meet? Because you guys met before I got to meet you, Robin. So what is your guys' story? You and
It's a
Sean.
website that's only on the dark web. It's only on the dark. She said this.
I don't know which way you're supposed to swipe forward or back.
You better be scrolling the right way when I come up on that
I
phone,
don't know
girl.
which way is the right way. I don't know
You
which way is
better
right.
double click that thing. You better. I mean, I'm talking. Yeah. How did we meet? Robin, you go ahead.
Yeah, so I think that a friend of Sean's actually saw one of my podcasts, that maybe the one I did with Andy Elliott, I think, and then he reached out to me to ask about Social Grenade, wanted to hear about it. So I was on the phone with him, talking to him about Social Grenade. I hadn't even demoed him yet the product, telling him what it was about and why I created it. And then about that time, Goat was calling him, and he goes, "Hang on, he's calling me right now. I'm just going to bring him into this call." And so he three-wayed him into that phone call, and we just started talking about it again. And then I scheduled a demo for them the next day. And then we were just really, and then we started talking without Jonathan involved, because like there were two different alignments going on here, and two different types of conversations. And Goat and I were very much aligned on the way that we think and how we feel about helping people. And so it just became a real symbiotic for us to have those conversations and go, how can we help more people?
Yeah. No, I love that. And because you guys are like two peas in a pod. Like, I feel like you guys should just be on stage together all the time, because it's just freaking entertaining seeing you guys.
I am always a very happy person when I'm in Robin's presence. I just am. Even when she's mad at me, which is maybe 50% of the time. And it's all deserved. It's all deserved. But I still enjoy the hell out of it.
Okay, so
Did he tell you the story?
what?
Oh, no.
Tell me. What? I want to know. Tell me.
Okay, so I'm an on-time person. Like my stuff runs on time. And everybody in my life, I attract into my life people who are habitually late. Like time is fluid for them. And time isn't fluid for me. It's very structured. And so I tell him I'm going to be by blah 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 this time. We need to talk about the agenda. I'm going to be at the house at this time. And so like I'm standing there and I'm knocking and I'm knocking and I'm knocking and I'm knocking. And then I know the code to get in, but I don't want to just walk in because I don't know if he's naked or not. So I'm like, and nobody wants to see that. That's my age. Maybe the younger girls do, but like I've seen
some people want to see that
before, and I'm good with it.
I've seen his comments. Some people want to see that.
Oh, I know they do. Just I don't.
Right.
So finally he like comes to the door and he's like, oh, no, let's get ready to get in the shower. I'm like, how could you be getting ready to get in the shower? We have a meeting like right now. I said it was going to be down right. He goes, no, I'll be really, really fast. I'll be really fast. I'm like, no, like it's right now. Or is that? He's like, no. I'm like, no, I'm leaving. And so he was like, it would be really fast. I'm like, I don't care. I'm going. And so he's like, then I wasn't mad. I'm just like, I have other things that I have to do. Like I had to go set up the room. I had all kinds of things. I'm like, no. And so he was like, so I leave and he's like, I was laughing my ass off because I knew you were mad at me. I'm like, oh, it matters. Just like, well, I'm not going to wait. I don't wait for people. I used to.
Yeah.
Okay, there is something that you don't know, Robin, about that story.
Well, he was on the phone with you, huh?
The night before, Sean and I are on a call, and he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to bed. Like Robin wants to stop by at like 7:30 to discuss the agenda. And I'm like, oh, that's early. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna set up my alarm for 8:00. I'm gonna set up my alarm for 8:00. And I'm like, wait, you just told me that Robin is stopping by at 7:30.
I didn't know.
And he's like, I'm just gonna set up. I'm like, I'm like, this is such a predictable. Like, I saw the train leave the station, and I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what is going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, like good luck with that one. Yeah, so she comes to the door, and I'm like, I'm getting in the shower right now. You know what I mean? I think I had my boxers on. You know what I mean? Like I'm getting in the shower right now, and like she was like, you know what it's like? She was going to set up an event. You know what I mean? Like the time before that, how you're like everything is like stressful a little bit. You're like, I just want everything to go right, you know. And here I am throwing a monkey wrench in it at 7:30 in the morning, and like she was clearly perturbed. She wasn't mean to me, but it was clearly like I definitely, it's the feeling, the feeling when your mom shows up at the school and you're in the principal's office waiting. Like there's one thing like having to go tell your mom about it at home, but when mom has to come to the school and you're in the office like this waiting right outside like that was the feeling. I was like just terrified. But then
you knew this was gonna happen. This was totally predictable.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not used to people being so prompt. And I told her that. I said, Robin, you have to understand the boomer generation. This brings up a good point. I want to discuss this. I think this might be interesting for people to hear. The boomer generation, in my opinion, is the last truly respectful generation. And when I say respectful, I mean, if I tell you I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. If I tell you when I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there then. If I tell you something is going to happen, it becomes a priority in my mind to make it happen. That is the last generation that way because their parents were so like that. Now, what happened was like for Gen Xers growing up, our parents kind of felt crappy about how they got treated as kids. So they were kind of a little softer on us. Not soft. We still were told to go outside for 12 hours at a time. But And it softened up as the generations go. Then my kids, I mean, they're cream puffs. You know what I mean? Like they've never been spanked. They've never nothing, never hardly yelled at. So her
I mean,
generation,
I haven't spanked them. I haven't whooped a kid in a long time.
yeah, man, don't threaten me with a good time. But like so, but that was the thing was, and we talked about that. And Ina, if you think about it, now you have a little boomer in you.
Well,
Ina,
she's not
I don't
10.
mean that inappropriately. I know
Excuse
your
me.
husband's not a
Yeah, I
boomer,
heard. I heard what you said.
She's not.
but
So, what do you mean? I have a little boomer in me?
Like
well,
you have
you are. You're
regimented.
yes, 100%.
Like
You
I have
are
a what?
You're a little more
regimented.
regimented. You know, you're
Ah,
regimented. You're
no,
structured.
I'm like type A. I need things the way that I need things. Like things.
Because like my husband is a Gen X and my best friend is a Gen X, right? And they are always late. Like
Yeah.
I used to tell people all the time that my tombstone would say, waiting on Brian.
Yeah.
But I know I'm going to outlive him, so that won't even work. But like literally, I used to get so mad about it. Like he made me late. That guy made me late, and then I finally realized he didn't make me late. I made a choice to be late to go with him, and so then I switched. So then at that point I was like, "What?" And then I'd be mad the entire time, and I was like, "Nope." So now if he's not ready when I am, I just leave and go because it's important to me to be on time, and then he can show up when he wants to, and then I'm not mad at him. I don't care if he's late. You just can't. I just can't be late.
Yeah, I mean, I have exactly the same problem with my husband, and he takes it kind of like to the next level. That if I'm like, I'm ready to go, and I tell him, let's go, it triggers him. He does not like to be told what to do or when to do it. Even if he's ready to go, he prefers that I go to the car by myself and wait there for him. And I'm like, why can't we go out the door together like normal
Right.
people? Why is that not a thing? I don't understand it.
Well, and Brian, I could literally, if I went out to the car and waited on him, I could literally video the 10 times he'll go out the door, in the door, out the door, in the door, out. Like there's something else that he forgot. Like he'll go, okay, I'm ready. And I'm like, everything that you need is in your hands. Like you're ready to come out and not go back. Yep. Nope. On the front porch, back in the front door. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yep.
what could it be?
Anyway, so I don't know if that's like a boomer thing or a type A thing or like so I don't know. Like I guess my parents were pretty punctual. I guess that's what I'm thinking. I don't
But
know if
I
my parents
think,
qualify as boomers.
I don't know if
I
mine
guess
were.
they
I
are.
don't remember that. I don't remember that being a thing.
Yeah, I don't remember that being a thing growing up.
Ina, and maybe you, but certainly Robin can speak to this when you're talking about the differences in generations, how that applies to how we use social media in our personal lives, but even in our professional endeavors. I think the generations use it differently still. Now there's a blend somewhere in there where we all kind of do some of the same stuff. But Robin, maybe you could speak to when you sign up a new dealer group, for Social Grenade, for instance, and you've got 20 people to onboard, and some of them are boomers or Gen Xers. Speak a little bit about the difference, if you don't mind,
Sure.
between those generations, not just absorbing what you teach them, but implementing.
Well, it's funny because I was just right before this, I was just on a demo with John McAdams from Dealer Alchemy. And we were talking about the same thing. And he was like, yeah, he's like, everyone wants to do reels, do reels, do reels. And he goes, and I'm like, that's going to make a post. He's like, that ain't my thing. Like, cause he's like my age. He may be a little bit younger than me. I don't know. Anyways. And he's like, it's just a difference. He goes, I think in that age. I'm like, yeah, I said, like, I will watch what works and then go, okay, if that works, then I'll do that thing. Not because like it's easy for me or whatever, but I know that, and when I say guys, just know that probably 98% of the salespeople that I encounter are men. So like, I'm
Right.
not counting the women, but 98% so most of the guys that are the older ones will be like, what do I have to do videos if it says that? And then I'll teach them how to do videos without their face on them, right? So that they
Mhm.
start
Yeah.
start doing something. And I'm like, or I'll teach them how to take a photo and turn it at 3 photos and turn it into a video. That I'm like, yes, you need that mechanism. You need the video mechanism within the social platform. Yes. But do I need you to be on camera? Probably no. Like if you're just going to be awkward and go, this is Bob at Jim's board, and they're just drinking through it. Nobody wants to watch that, first of
Yeah.
all. And they're not going to learn I swear they're not going to learn unless it's a passion of theirs how to be good on camera. And so teaching them how to at least get a video trigger. How can I get a video trigger within the social media platform, whether it's Facebook or wherever, I think is important. But as long as I can give them something to post, even if it's a static image post, and they can start somewhere, because a lot of times, like we're having to start with like almost beginners. Like if I sat with a guy for probably an hour while he had to call his wife to help reset his password on Facebook because he didn't know what it was, and she keeps the passwords, and oh my gosh.
Right.
And so the difference is huge. So the older generation definitely, like I'll see people still just type text even without putting like a red background behind it, like nothing. Like, and I will text them and go, at least hit a color, at
Right.
least make me stop something. If you're just going to give me text, at least give me a red background or something and throw an emoji in there if you know
Right.
the consumer consumes it. But yeah, getting people that will just stop posting text alone and we'll move to a photo. That's a huge jump. To get them to move from a photo to a video is a quantum leap sometimes. And so for someone like Goat, who's an old Gen X, I think, aren't you on the old end of the Gen X spectrum?
No, it's to 1960, I think 68. I was born 72. I'm like dead smack in the middle, I
Okay.
think. Yeah.
So to be good at video, like at your age, or I mean, is an anomaly as well as, me knowing social media or being a woman and knowing automotive. And
Right.
so it really is just what you're interested in. And what we'll find at the dealership level is that the majority of the old guys aren't really even interested in using social at all. If it's a required thing for them, then I maybe get them to post photos.
Right. And that's why there's people like you, people like me, people like us who try to make this as easy as possible, like as turnkey as possible. So one thing that I realized quickly, I have a client that I just do everything for them, and their salespeople are totally willing and able, and they're not even that old. Like these are people that you would imagine are on social. It's just not a part of their life. It's just not what they do. So I go down and I record the content with them, right? Like your people will have their face on there and they will do fun stuff and we'll get tons of views and like everything is great, but they don't do anything. I show up once a quarter and that's it. So I know that Social Grenade was kind of built with that in mind. So like what is Social Grenade exactly?
So Social Grenade is a 3-step process. First of all, I created it because I spent all of that time training these salespeople, and they just wouldn't do it once I wasn't there anymore. Like once I
Right.
was there, they would do it. Like when you're there, they're like all excited about social, right, Ina?
Right.
And then whenever and go to, and then once you're gone, you're like, then they go like this again because they're back in their regular habits because we're not there long enough to create a habit for them. And
Right.
so
Cool.
so I had a guy that Automax recruiters and training, and he reached out to me and he's like, Robin, remember when you used to train my salespeople on how to do social? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, I'm with these classes every day. They need to know social. And I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
want to do it. And
Yeah.
so only because I felt like I'd failed so many times. I would train
Mhm.
them and they wouldn't get it. And I would have maybe one rock star every 5 dealerships that would do a great job of it.
Yeah.
Right.
So then he's like, but is there some way we can do it for them? And I'm like, I don't want to do it for them because, I'm a boomer, by God. They need to do it their damn self.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Get up my yard, whatever. And so he's like, but there's got to be something we can do. And I'm like, well, maybe if we create an app. And so we created an app that holds a ton of has a library of over 300 social media posts inside of it. And if that were all there was, it'd be good enough. But we know that salespeople won't remember that they even have the app on their phone. They'll get busy doing a thing and forget to go. So we improvised and put in a daily text prompt. They get a text every day at 9:30 that tells them what to post today. Like, so they don't even have to think. It says, go to Social Grenade, grab an engaging post, and remember to reply back to every person who comments. And then
Yeah.
tomorrow it may say, do a walk around video of a third row SUV. Like we're taking them down a path to be able to get into the news feed instead of the stuff that they're posting right now, which is the happy customers that look like they're being held hostage, and
Right.
an inventory photo where they didn't even pull the car out of the slot. They just
Right.
checked a box.
Right.
So step one is the content is in the app. Step two is they get a reminder to tell them what to do. And then step three is that within the price, the monthly price of what Social Grenade is for the dealership, every salesperson is included in that. But then they also get twice a month training, and the GM also gets reporting twice a month of what their salespeople are doing. So if your 10 salespeople are signed up for Social Grenade and 7 of them are using it regularly and 3 of them aren't logged on or haven't even posted anything this month, by week 2 I know that, and I'm back in front of them trying to get them back on the app, and I'm letting the GM know that as well. So
Right.
we've covered their organic social, and what we've seen is a 70% adoption at dealerships. So if 10 people are at the sales floor, then 7 of them are actively using it. And of those 7 that are actively using Social Grenade, we're seeing a 2 to 3 car lift per month by them just engaging their social networks, the people that are already there in their wheelhouse. And we're seeing a 20 to 40% reach of people that are non-followers.
Right.
That's
And
strong. I'll tell you, the 70% adoption is strong, and I think that's a credit to your follow through and your process after the contract signed and after so that those are strong numbers. I know those are impressive numbers.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it is a lot of work. There's time like we have some stores in El Paso and Las Cruces that have like 20 salespersons at each store, and there's times when I have like 3 that are working, and then my performance managers have to get in there and then one-on-one reach out to these people because they're not coming to group calls. They're not. We've seen it. We know it happens, and if it's not a top-down force thing, then you don't have it happening. But like then Shannon and Lacey are getting on the phone and calling them one by one, and going, "Hey, what's going on? Why aren't you doing this? Get back in
Love that.
your dealership."
Love that.
yeah, and I've talked to dealerships who think they're like, well, we just need to hire more young people. Like that's what we need to do. And I'm like, well, you could, but that's not a guarantee. Like a young person doesn't come with a social media profile by
Right.
default.
Right.
Like it really takes not only the skill set to be able to do that and create good content that is not going to be crappy, right? It also takes them having the intrinsic motivation to want to become a brand, and that's not something that comes with by default with every single car salesperson that you hire.
Right. And one of the things that we train them is to be an intrapreneur, right? So you have a business inside of somebody else's business. You understand that you have the ability to make as much money as you want to with no risk. Like this
Right.
guy's floating all the cars, this guy's floating the rent, this guy's floating insurance and benefits and all of that stuff. And you get to build your business within here. Think about it like that.
Right.
That's the mindset. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you say all the time, Sean. It's like a
I
business
mean,
within a
there's a
business.
reason that Robin and I connected very quickly, easily the first time we met, because I could tell that she lived in the same mind space that I do. It's helping people,
Mhm.
but then it's just making sure that the follow through is great. But yes, I mean, we think the same. So that I'd probably say 3 or 4 things that Robin says. Now, I've made videos about me stealing some of her stuff because I have stole some of her phrases.
Still some of your
Like,
stuff too, though. But that's what it's about, right? Like
yeah,
it's not like, well, I'm going to tell you. So, I mean, I'm always transparent because I'm 60 and I just don't have time to keep up with my own bullshit. So, seriously, so like, what did I say
yeah.
before? No. So, like, I was on TikTok before I met Goat, but I like wasn't like I was like random. I would post something random here and there, whatever, not diligent about it. And then he's like, "Hey, let's do this thing. I think you can." And um, so I started a totally different, TikTok channel, and I'm vigilant with it. Like I
I
post,
see growth. You're growing.
yeah, like
You are.
I'm almost at 5,000 in 6 weeks.
You're growing. Like
Wow.
Ina, she's growing.
Yeah.
Like she's yeah.
And the cool thing about that is like I know because like I know you're looking, and so I make sure that I have stuff sitting in drafts ready just in case my day falls apart. I don't want to post garbage, so I have a bunch of stuff already sitting in drafts. And like on Saturday and Sunday, I will just record a bunch, let it sit in drafts, and then I get to go through the week and go, well, how do I feel today? I'm like, I feel that one. That one's a good one. You know what I'm saying? And then that just helps me. And so I stay vigilant with that. And yeah, seeing that growth is amazing, and just really is that consistency. And you'll have one that's like 80,000 views, and then the next one is 529. But you know what
Right.
I'm going to tell people, because this is really stupid of everybody, right? If somebody gave me a venue and filled it up with 529 people that I could speak to, would I be pissed off?
All day long, I do that. I would
I
do that.
wouldn't be pissed off. I would be so happy that I got in front of 529 people today. And so I just am grateful every time that somebody like consumes my content. And I don't care if it's 529 people or if it's 80,000 or if it's 500,000. I'm like, thank you for showing up today. I mean, I'm grateful because if I put it like that, if I were in an arena somewhere and I had five, I would be successful. That would be a successful day.
Right.
Well, and I would say this too, 529 views on TikTok is a little different than some of the other platforms because of the algorithm.
Mhm.
That's 529 people that you resonate with. There's a good chance because TikTok's algorithm decided they want to see her. So it's more like a more qualified 529. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Than just blasting stuff out there. So, but she's getting good growth. And there's times I trick her. Like I won't like or comment or share on her post or anything because I want her to think I'm not looking anymore. Because I want to see if she's going to backtrack to being like the salesperson, the business owner, but she's keeping it personal. She's on that account. She's keeping it personal.
No, that's amazing. I've always been in the world of creating for social media for small audiences. Like I've never seen growth in my accounts at all. So the growth is helping me out a little bit, but I keep like not listening to his advice. So that's on me. So that like my growth is very, very slow. And he keeps looking at my account. He's like, what are you doing? So like I want Sean to tell everybody who's listening, like what is it that makes an account grow that Ina keeps just saying, no, I'm not gonna do it, and then I'm just not gonna grow.
Yeah, I mean, so I would give you Robin is a great example of okay, this guy clearly has some experience, knows what he's doing with this. This is what he's telling me. Whether it makes sense to me or not, I'm gonna stick with it. And she's seeing some growth. You, Miss Ina,
Yeah.
are an example of you're like, yeah, I mean, I think he does know, but I really want to post this kind of video, so I'm just gonna do it anyways. Like, yeah, maybe he won't see it. I mean, if you're gonna post that stuff, just block me from that post because, like, I get in my throat a little. You know what I'm saying when I
I
see it
want you
because
to tell me what to do.
I'm
It's like,
gonna no, 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 no. You want to listen to, you want me to tell you, and then you want to decide whether or not I'm right.
So
Robin,
we call those people an ask hole. They
yes,
ask for advice and then they don't take it. They're an asshole.
yes.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
that's a great bucket to be
So
putting
Robin,
to.
yeah, I'm just gonna put this out there. I mean, so what she'll do is I tell her if it's not funny, you don't post it. That's where you're at in your account right now. You need followers, you need short, funny videos, right? If it's not funny, don't post it. Now you're a little different. You have a story that people clearly are enjoying hearing that isn't necessarily humorous, but it's educational, informative, whatever. So I tell her, if it ain't funny, don't post it. That's it, period. So she'll do great, she'll do some funny voiceovers and good stuff or whatever. And I'll be like, oh, that's a good video. And I'll share it and, everything else. And then the next one will be her sitting there with a sad face in her car, like, this happened to me. This happened to me. This happened to me. Or it'll be one of those, like,
The
my
little
name is,
pointing.
I do like total cornball video. And I'm
He
like,
doesn't like it when I do like cutesy videos.
I'm gonna kill her, because you're confusing the algorithm. People don't understand that, and that you do,
Explain that part. Like, how are you confusing the algorithm based on like what you're posting? What's happening?
Okay. So Robin has a personal story that she talks about, and it's very interesting, and it garners attention, and she talks about that a lot, and she stays with it, like she stays on that story. Now, every so often she'll post a funny or something, do something, a lip sync or something, like I do too, but the algorithm, when you send that video out, again, the method is simple. TikTok sends it to 300 people. This is simple. If you get good engagement, like, share, comment, follows, whatever, if you get good engagement, they decide to send it to more. If the engagement stays consistent, they send it to more. That's how you go viral, right? But so that's how they learn who wants to see your content, right? By the engagement. So then it's like, okay, the next video that this person sends out, I need to send to these people or people like them. And then you make a video like that's off the beaten path, and now TikTok's like, well, wait, we don't know who to send this to. This isn't the same content. So you confuse the algorithm, and that's why you get stuck. People get stuck in the 200 view jail. That is why, because you're confusing the algorithm with your content. So it goes to the first 200 people that TikTok thinks want to see your stuff, but they don't because it's different than the one they liked, shared, commented on. So now you get stuck at 200. That's what happens.
Yeah. So welcome to my life.
So I'm going to follow a question that because I am rolling that story out and I am keeping because it's that boomer bish. I am keeping some boomer stuff in there. Like so, I posted a video yesterday about once you're over 50, you have no eyebrows. Like that's just a boomer conversation. It's just a real story. It's like and
Yeah.
so I felt like that was on brand. Now it doesn't have anything to do with the story that I'm rolling out, the parts of the story that I'm rolling out. Do you think that that's confusing?
I think it's more important at Ina's stage than yours because you're what, you have 5,000 followers now, something like that.
48.
Yeah, almost. Yeah. So you've already garnered a little bit of a following. So when your content goes out, you've got those followers that are going to see it also. So they may push it just because they like you. And if they've followed you now, you've done some of those other videos in the past and mixed them in with your personal story. So they expect that from you. So they still might engage. But if it sends it to a bunch of people that have never engaged with you before and it's different content, I think it's more important when you're starting than it is once you have some followers. I think you're doing great with your account. I think that as busy of a person as you are, as much as you have going on, you own three companies, obviously your mother, whatever, I mean, your personal life, that doesn't even, we're not even talking about that, you know, to be able to, at our age, upkeep an account and succeed with it, not stink at it, I think is amazing.
Cool. Because I was going to ask you about that because I'm like, because I know when we first rolled out like that one first story that we had told about my dad burning the house down, right? And then it was like, do I roll out some more about this? And you're like, no, wait a few, whatever,
Yeah.
And so like I'm trying to do the same with these right here. Like I try to be like this part 6 of this story, and then there may be 2 lip syncs or a funny one between.
Yeah.
I roll it back out again because I don't want it to just be just about that. I mean,
Right.
I could fill a whole channel with that story.
Yeah.
And I could literally just go all day long and it just be,
Yeah.
part 95 of my life in the crazy house. But I try to be like, okay, so I mean, what do I think is funny? Like on the Ozempic one that you did that I thought was really good. But
Yeah.
for me, it'll be like, one of the things that people don't understand is like once you're over 50, like and your hormones change and losing weight doesn't matter if I'm working out all the time and doing this thing. Like if I hadn't taken Ozempic, I couldn't have dropped 60 pounds. Right.
Yeah.
So like that may be funny, but the messaging in there is just going to be, yeah, boomer dropped 60 pounds. Right.
Yeah.
And so because I want to stay in the theme of that boomer bish and go, why is this relevant to other boomers? This is why, because if you're over 50 or over 60 and you're not losing weight, don't be afraid to use Ozempic. But remember that you're going to have to take Miralax because you will not be able to poop.
I know. Yeah, I mean, and the other thing too, and Ina, to answer your question,
Take the notes. You won't be able to poop.
right. But if you're gonna mix up the algorithm, if you just have to post that Sarah McLaughlin video, whatever, Ina, whatever it is, then I'm just using her as an example. Go to creator search insights and at least type your captions in on something that's trending in the search insights that is highly searched right now with not a lot of content. That's that content gap tab I showed you.
Yeah.
Where so if you're gonna post off topic of your normal content, my opinion is at least go to creator search insights, search it up and caption it correctly. So maybe it gets brought up in searches. You see what I'm saying? So maybe
All
that
right.
can, so
Okay, that makes sense. So, yeah. So anyway, I wanted to make sure everybody knew who Robin is first of all, what Social Grenade is, and that this is something that is available for dealerships right now to make this as easy as possible.
Sure.
So, Robin, anything that you want to make sure that everybody knows, what is your message for the world?
Gosh, for the world. Well, there you go. I'm going to tell you to take care of your skin. It's super important.
Boomers, listen up.
Yeah, I just really feel like that in the automotive space right now, which is where we live, or even in the social media space, it doesn't even have to be automotive. That if you are not posting a video, to be honest, you are invisible. And the fastest way for people to know how to trust you, or if they can trust you, is they're going to get these verbal cues from you when they see your videos. They're going to feel like you're talking to them. And if you're making your first video, like let's just say you're a salesperson and it's Facebook and you're not going to do a skit, you're not going to do it behind the scenes, you're not going to do it, you just want to start, then start like you're FaceTiming your best friend. Talk to that phone like if you were talking to your best friend on FaceTime. And remember, I mean, I know we all go get that hook in the first 3 seconds. Don't be doing the, hey, this is Joe down at ABC Motors. I've already swiped, and I've had to learn that myself. I've had to learn what's the thing that's going to get them to watch all the way to the end and say it first, right? Say it first. And so like if I were a car salesperson, I may go, so your credit sucks? That may be my hook right at the beginning and go, you know what? You need to calm down because I helped so many people. Like I was telling this to a salesperson the other day. I helped this woman named Marianne last month. If I were a Kia salesperson and Marianne had bought a Sorrento, I'd probably be standing next to a Sorrento or in it and go, she got to drive home in a brand new Sorrento. And I would tap that hood. That's the only time I'm going to mention that product again and go, you know what, Marianne felt just like you, because the feel, felt, found is so important. And if you can work those into a video, because people want to do business, they want to do business with people like them, but they also want to know that there's people just like them out there. There's people out there with a 525 credit score that were able to buy a Kia Sorrento, and if not, then they know they need to go see GOAT and get it all fixed. But the salesperson needs to go, so you think your credit sucks? And then go into telling them a story about somebody you helped, and then just be genuine. But if you're not doing video, you are invisible.
That's great. That's great advice about the FaceTime. I thought that in my head, but I don't think I've ever said that out loud. And that's great advice for people to hear.
Yeah, I mean, we think about when you're talking to your family, like you're engaged with them and you're like looking at them on the camera, you're like doing the thing. And like, if you'll just treat it like that, like your family's on the other side of that. I learned this lesson from, I don't even know who I learned it from. I'm probably in about 100 different courses a month because I'm just a constant learner. And it was to write a social media post. And when you write it, before you post it, you're going to write it. And it's going to be, dear son. And at the end, it's going to end with love you, mom. And then you write everything in the middle that you wanted to portray the point across to, and then you get rid of dear son and love mom. And then if you wrote it like you were writing that letter to your child, what would that information that you'd be delivering look like?
Oh, I love that.
That's powerful. Yeah,
I love
that's
that.
good. That's
okay.
good.
So, Sean, any parting words?
No, I mean, I just, one thing that, I think I'd like to ask this question and end with this question because I think it gives a lot of insight into how the person thinks and feels. So, Robin, if you could have dinner with any three people, alive or unalive, one dinner, you and three people sitting at a dinner table, who would they be and why?
Well, for sure, the founder of Virgin Atlantic, like I would have dinner with him all day long, Richard Branson.
That's your guy.
That's my number one right there is, I mean, if you've ever read his story, it's freaking amazing from the time he was in college and started a record business.
Yeah.
When he was in college, like it was craziness. And like everything he's done has been outside of that box. So it'd probably be Richard Branson would be my number one.
Yeah.
My number two, living or dead. I think I really admire trailblazers that are always doing stuff that people, I mean, whether you guys like it or not, I probably, as weird as it sounds, I'd probably like to have dinner with Elon Musk.
Me too.
I mean, I just like, I want to see that I want to make sure that when you're working on your computer and like out of nowhere, it starts going, whoa, the engine kicks in. I think there's a noise that comes from him at some point, whenever he's like coming up with a new idea, like his hard drive starts working harder.
Yeah.
And then
so we got one seat left. I'm sorry, I'm unavailable that night. So you have to find somebody else.
And it's funny because I probably need to pick a woman. I'm trying to think what women that I super, super admire, living or dead. I really would like to sit down with Mary Barra.
Who's that?
So she is the CEO of GM.
Oh wow.
The only female CEO of an automotive.
Her and Elon at the same table, huh?
Yeah, that would be fun.
Fireworks. I love it. That's a great answer.
Awesome. Well, Robin, thank you so much for doing this with us and coming to hang out. And yeah, we love everything that you do. We can't wait to like see you again and keep collaborating with you because you're just awesome.
Oh, thanks, guys.
And how do we get a hold of you, Robs? If somebody wants to get a hold of you or Social Grenade, do you have an app, some socials, some contact?
Yeah. So like on Facebook, obviously at robinwilson.353. I don't know why that's my number, but whatever. On Insta, it is at Meet the Robs, ROBZ. Really though, I'm going to do this thing and you guys are going to freak out, but here's my phone number. It is 417-629-8006. Don't call me though. Just text me.
Yeah. That's a rule for everybody.
Or if you're goat, you just FaceTime me.
All the time. All the time.
I'm like, okay, am my camera ready? Yes, I am.
I know.
Eyebrows are on.
Thank you, Robin. You're awesome.
Bye, guys.
I love you. I love you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. I'd like to take a minute to thank our sponsor, Sky Blue Credit Repair. Sky Blue is the oldest credit repair company in the country. They have 4.5-star reviews. And my favorite part about the company is that these are just genuinely good people who want to help you repair your credit, have a better financial life and future. Everybody at Sky Blue that you talk to is absolutely interested in helping you repair your credit, see your score go up, and have you enjoy financial freedom and be able to live the life that you really deserve. I know about all of the other credit repair companies. Sky Blue Credit Repair, in my opinion, is the #1 credit repair company in the country. There are not better people in that industry than the people over at Sky Blue Credit. Links in the bio. Tell them the GOAT sent you.